Now to a consumer investigation.
Well, car insurance costs twice as much in New York as in most other states.
We all would like to pay lower car insurance rates, but what this commercial does not tell you is how the governor plans to do that. The governor says her reforms would cut down on insurance fraud, and car insurers would pass those savings on to us in the form of lower premiums. But the devil is always in the details. So I took a deep dive into the governor's proposals for lawsuit reforms that would cap how much money some folks would get if they sue an auto insurer. Watch this crook. First, he tries to cause an accident by cutting off a driver on the highway. When that fails, he backs into her so he can claim she rear-ended him. Proposals to crack down on this kind of fraud are without controversy. The real controversy lies in the governor's proposals for lawsuit reform. Take this proposal. The governor wants to cap damages for pain and suffering for drivers engaging in criminal behavior at the time of the incident. Well, that seems reasonable, right? But take this scenario. Let's say you're driving the red car and you're stopped at a red light. A drunk driver comes up from behind and hits you with such force that you suffer a spinal cord injury. But you were not insured. That means you were engaging in criminal conduct at the time of the incident.
The only thing that is capped for drivers who are breaking the law is non-economic damages. So those drivers will first automatically get their no-fault coverage for medical claims and for lost wages, and they can still seek additional economic damages. And also they can seek non-economic damages up to $100,000.
Certainly, though, if I have lost a limb or I'm paralyzed, $100,000 seems arbitrary.
Economic damages are there, and it's really about, not breaking the law in the first place.
Here's another proposal. Let's say that there are two drivers who are trying to beat the light. They both end up running the red light. One is turning left, the other is going straight. The one going straight hits the guy turning left, and he runs into you, sitting at the red light. You end up with a $100,000 medical bill. It's determined that the guy who is going straight is 51% responsible for this accident, and the guy who was turning is 49% responsible. That means the guy who was turning is responsible for $49,000 of your $100,000 medical bill. Seems reasonable, right? But trial lawyers use this analogy.
If you and I go out to eat at a restaurant, you made the reservation, you take off before the bill comes. I'm stuck paying the bill.
Under her proposal, though, if one person disappears, the person who is left would only be responsible for half.
For their share of the fault, correct.
So in my scenario, the guy who's going straight, who is 51% responsible for this accident, he's uninsured. So under the governor's proposal, the guy who's 49% responsible would be responsible for $49,000 of your $100,000 bill. The way the law stands now, this guy, the insured motorist, would be responsible for your entire medical bill.
If you are involved, you only have to pay if you are less than majority at fault. So if you're under 50% at fault, you only have to pay that percentage of fault that is yours to pay. And this is actually the standard in all other New York law. Now,
trial lawyers are deeply opposed to these reforms. They have an obvious financial interest, but they insist they're concerned that these reforms would close the courthouse doors to real victims. I extensively interviewed a leader with Department of Financial Services as well as a leader with the State Trial Lawyers Association. You'll find links to those full interviews in the body of this story on our website, WHEC.com.